my first episode, I guess, was in my junior year in high school. I was at a prom, and you know, everybody knows what high school is like, all the changes and the tensions and the frustrations. But this was worse. This was unlike anything that I had ever experienced, and something inside me just kind of snapped.
Are you between the ages of 15 and 25? Do you experience memory blanks around the night of the full moon? Have you noticed unusual growth of body hair on yourself? Do you have an odd aversion to silver objects and jewelry? Have you experienced strong waves of animalistic cravings? If so, congratulations. You may be one of the thousands of young Americans with the special gift of lycanthropy.
The word lycanthropy is derived from the Greek name Lycaenius, one of the earliest known humans to metamorphose into non-human form, a trait the ancient Greeks attributed to a curse by the god Zeus. The more well-known term werewolf is derived from the Anglo-Saxon were, meaning man, and thus werewolf means literally man-wolf.
In modern terms, a lycanthrope is a person with an unusual genetic flexibility. The genetic code contained in DNA tells each cell in an organism's body what to be and do at any given time. Most animals, including most humans, have a rigidly defined genetic code that maintains one gradually evolving physical shape throughout that organism's life. Lycanthropes are gifted by having a genetic code that immediately and significantly mutates itself under certain circumstances, whether internally or externally imposed. The pattern for this mutation is fairly consistent from individual to individual, and although bearing no genetic resemblance to a wolf, the mutated lycanthrope form shares certain external lupine characteristics like fur, big teeth, a prominent snout. In many cases, a lycanthropic form does not resemble a wolf at all.
Well, at first, I had no control over it. It would just happen, and I could really, find no pattern to it. It would just happen out of the blue. Then as it began to happen, I realized that I could control it by simply thinking about it. And I'm at the point now in my condition where if I really want to transform, I just have to go into a very quiet corner and concentrate for a few moments, and then it will begin to happen. So I can control it. I can stay in my form for as long as I want. Generally, though, I try not to stay in form for more than a few hours, because when you come back out of it into your human form, it's very painful and your joints are stiff, and so I don't like to stay in it very long.
All right. Most lycanthropes first realize that they're different between the ages of 15 and 25, late adolescence to early adulthood. As the physiological and mental marathon of childhood draws to a close, latent mutant abilities such as lycanthropy become stimulated and manifest themselves, usually outside the control of the person involved.
The relationship of humans, let alone lycanthropes, to the full moon is one that has been documented for thousands of years and is yet to be fully explained by science. The term lunacy is derived from the Latin word luna, meaning moon, and many paranormal phenomena, lycanthropic and otherwise, have been documented around the time of the full moon.
For whatever reason, many young lycanthropes experience their first mutant episode during the night of a full moon, awakening the next morning in a strange place, usually with torn clothing, and sometimes covered with their own or someone else's blood. As time goes by, most lycanthropes learn to change form at will, and they retain their human intelligence, their memory, their personality, all in mutant form. The first time a young person experiences a mutant episode, they probably experience fear or shame, and that's natural. But lycanthropy, like any parapsychophysiological condition, can be controlled and mastered.
There wasn't really a friend that I could reach out to quite and come out with them with a secret like that. I thought that I might have been the only person in the world that was like this. It was so confusing, and I battled for a lot of years. It was difficult, but then help came along in a few different forms.
Humanity has always feared the strange and out of the ordinary. Lycanthropy is no exception. People of every persuasion and every walk of life have discovered that they have weird potential. Naturally enough, some have given in to the temptations of unusual power and have used their gift for revenge or criminal gain. As with many minorities, a few rotten apples have sullied the reputation of lycanthropes in general.
Humans can be cruel, sort of like children. You know, if there's a child on a playground who has a deformity or is a little bit different, kids seek them out to pick on them. And you learn when you have this condition that humans, even as they grow up, are still like that. They still have that childlike quality to maim and to, you know, pick out someone who is different than they are. So it's best to hide your condition until you can get around others who have the same condition as well. But humans can generally be pretty cruel, but we probably all know that.
It is in part to address this problem that Spell was formed. It is hoped that with enough education for both humans and lycanthropes, the genetically different can learn to use their powers wisely, and the public will grow to accept us for who we are instead of rejecting us for what we are.
I hope that, in part from Spell's efforts, the world will learn to call us lycanthropes and realize that we're very unique members of society and all the special abilities and potential that we have. The term werewolf, it's a hateful word. It's a throwback from medieval times when people feared what they didn't understand, and I think the time has come for people to take a more enlightened view of us.
I thought I was alone at first, and I didn't think that there was anyone who could help, and it was just something that I was having to deal with. I was having to shoulder the whole burden of this affliction. But then, through some sources on the internet, I learned of others that had the same condition. I contacted them, of course, with an anonymous name because I didn't want anyone to know. And we started corresponding. And then I met people who had the same condition as I do. And then it was a little bit easier. We went to help sessions and things of that nature. And we talked about it. And that's the first step, really, is just to talk about it and get it out in the open and say to yourself, yes, I have a problem and I can deal with it. And there's others out there that have the same problem.
If based on what you've seen here today, you think you or a friend or family member may be a lycanthrope, or if you just want to learn more about this fascinating condition, I urge you to contact your local Spell chapter.
Spell really taught me through the support groups and then later on the mastery sessions that I attended. They really taught me how to unlock the great potential, the great energy force that was within myself that I had previously just seen as this uncontrollable rage. It now became a medium through which I could derive all kinds of new talents and experiences from, and that to me has been the biggest part about unlocking my were potential.
I thought of suicide and contemplated it a lot before I founded the organization. And I can say without a shadow of doubt that if I hadn't have found Spell, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
Joining the Society for Public Education of Lycanthropy has many benefits, including access to support groups and mastery sessions, a biannual newsletter, a handsome t-shirt or cap, and an invitation to our annual Halloween party. Thanks for watching today, and remember, lycanthropes are people too.